誒，真係有人開門㗎噃。
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Where are you from?
I guess you're getting a lot of Hong Kong people. Yeah?
Ils étaient de Hong Kong?
Yes.
They were from
Obviously.
Hong Kong?
Yes,
Oh,
it's
okay.
pretty obvious.
I think they live in Canada or something.
Oh, we live in, yeah, they live in Canada.
Yeah. I'm from Vancouver. You're in Toronto? Yeah. Oh, right. Well, I think they were in BC, like, you know, British Columbia. A lot of, I remember when I was, I live in Walla Walla, which is Washington State.
Oh, Washington. A lot of good wine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
I was there in 1999, 2000. And when I visit, I go to West Flare skiing. And so when I was in BC, in Vancouver, there's a lot of people from Hong Kong. At the time, a lot of people.
Well,
from Hong
these
Kong.
are the Toronto people. 咦，後邊嗰個英國人帶到，真係學少咗 philosophy。
幾勁喎呢條友！
佢係 wine maker 嚟嘅，七代目喎。你聽唔到佢講係七代目 ？Yeah, seventh generation.
So this is my kitchen. You know, it's smelling a bit because we just did the piping of it. So my grandfather redone this room. 1963, when he took over from his father, did something very simple. It's one block of wine, one tank. So 3 blocks of Merlot, 1 block of Cab Franc, so 4 blocks, 4 tanks of fermentation, 2 bigger tanks for blending. You know, so we keep it this way. In fact, all the top winery work like that because each block is going to be mature at a different time. This year, shitty year. A lot of rain, you know, I mean, you have to call a cat, you know, I mean, it's just very rainy, tricky, you know. You can still make it good, but it's much harder, you know. So normally I do 1 block, 1 day. So at the moment, I've got 3 blocks in production, so we use 3 tanks and we do 3 days, you know, for picking. I mean, literally, last year, we start picking on the 15th of September, keep going on the 25th, and finish on the 29th of September with the Cab Franc. This year, I pick everything on 1 day. Wow. So I didn't have like 15 people for picking, I had 45, you know, so loss for loss, you know. But anyway, so with fermentation, we have gas, okay? This gas literally make all the skin float on the top of the juice and make a cap, okay? So we are in the middle of it at the moment. So as all the color is here, every day we try, it's like cooking. We try a few times a day, and in function of the way we try, we take the juice behind there, and with the palms, this guy and the pipe, pump the juice over to make it circulating through the cap of skin to extract color, flavor, tannin. You know what I mean? Doing that, it's like doing coffee. You know, you got your coffee, you make the water going through the coffee, or eventually the coffee going through the water. You know, so of course, as the water is 100 degrees Celsius, here we are 10 to 30 degrees. Take a bit more time, but at the moment, so it's like cooking. You know, when you cook, you work a lot at the beginning, and then you let it set, you know, rest. So 20 to 40 days in the tank, trying to find the good balance, you know, to the color and everything. Take out the wine, put it in a bigger tank, and make 1 wine. So this year, I put everything in two tanks, smaller year. We lost a bit of the crop with Saint-Émilion on Merlot. So I'm going to lose about 35% of my crop, I believe. I'm not quite sure exactly how much I've got, but I think it's about 35%. So, shit happened. So, mix everything in, and then I will have the skin afterwards. So we shovel out the skin, because there's 10-15% of wine stuck inside. Press it here. This press, 1924. We still use it. You know, to be honest, I'm 49 years old. The manometer here, I never saw it working. You know? So I just manage the pressure and I try. You know? No, but it's like olive oil. The first part is the best part. The last part is the shittest part. But how far you need to go through your pressing before you get to this not so interesting part? Tasting, you are very accurate. At least for what I want to do. And don't forget, I make it nice for myself. You know. So when I give birth to my wine, everything is mixed together. Then I put it in barrels for aging. Okay. So we're going to go on the other side and see the barrels. Okay. If you wish to take out of the whole lot, it's the best one.
Yeah.
And then the more you press, the more you get harder on the skin, on the tannins of the seeds.
Yeah.
Then you get tannins which are not so interesting, harsher, drier, And then I don't want that. I make only one wine. If you do a second wine, you want this last part because you put it in the second wine, I make only one wine a year, For me, it's like having children. One at a time is plenty of work enough, So,
but do you mix the good and the bad?
No. I don't collect the bad. I just take the good part. That's it. I don't give a shit. I just go straight for the good, and that's it.
And is that by sight or taste?
Taste. It's all about by taste. My taste.
Yeah.
For what I want to do.
Yeah, great.
Whatever it is.
哇！真係好多嘅啫，哇！真係好細嘅啫呢啲。
一年一
係。
Ah, fuck. Sorry. I'm the jack of all trades. So sorry. Someone please. Now, this is octree French oak. When you speak about French oak, from which forest? Plenty of forests. Some are much better than others. Some much more expensive, of course. But pretty much, when you put your wine into the barrels, you have exchange between the wood, the wine, and the oxygen. So for whatever 100% of exchange you get through the time, you get about 50% of exchange per year. So in fact, the brand new barrels on the first year will give 50% of what it will give to the wine. The second year, still 50% of the leftover, like 25%, and so on. So after 4 years, not so interesting. So then sell them to a friend of mine who do French whiskey. A bit for decoration, and then I keep 1 or 2 barrels for my wife to put some flowers and stuff like that. Happy wife, happy life. But the wine has been blend, mix. In fact, I speak more about mix because blend, you look synergy between all your blocks, So when you look for synergies, that means you have a top wine and you have a second wine and maybe a third wine. Here, I just make one wine, so I put everything together. So I mix my Merlot and Cabernet Franc together, make one. Evolution is different from a new barrel to older barrel to the big one. So bring me complexity. So I put everything back into the tank after a year and a half. And after, the wine arrived here like November until April, May of the following year. Then I bottle it. And when I bottle it, I store it for another 4 years before to release it. Make sure the wine have enough wisdom,
Make sure what?
The wine have enough wisdom. I believe the wine is like us. I believe the day we arrive to 25 years old, if you are an interesting person, at 60, 70, you will be still an interesting person, But if at 25 you're stupid, that will be much more complicated, So if your wine is shit from the beginning, you could keep it 50 years, that will not change much. But you have the right to be young, of course, with much more muscles and you go through time more wisdom. So, in fact, we sell 90% of the wine here directly to private individuals. So we store the wine before to start to release it,
Wow. Wow. That's the lifting.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot of work lifting up and down.
Okay, so we bring the little trolley here, take out the fence, and with the cable here, like I told you, lift them up and put them down.
Oh my God.
First part is normal, second part, backwards, 2 hands, 2 handles. One up, one down. Come over. Yeah, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That is pretty dangerous.
First part you could be normal, just for the second part you could be.
哇！真係大開眼界喎！呢個做乜鬼？搞乜鬼？哎呀！Are you okay?
Yeah. Well, how did you lift all these? They use the machine.
Yeah, that's the machine up there.
Yeah.
You don't see it?
You could go over there.
Watch out your head.
Wow, it's very spacious down here though. You have all the rooms. And that's the bottle, look. Right here. Are you okay?
Yeah,
犀利啊！
濕濕地咁樣都得㗎，係要濕濕地
一定係陰陰濕濕噶嘛，影住冚頭啊！
Wow, really? Over here, that's 6 layers of bottle deep, 6,480 bottles. You know, we do 12,000 bottles a year. Huh? So, you know, what is 1,000 cases? What is a lot of wine if you drink it yourself? You know? But so business is not much. You know, it's like.
I think you just sell stuff.
Here, that's also 6 deep, but 9,000 bottles. You know, so a bit higher, wider compared to the other one. You know.
How do you reach the one to the back?
Oh no, it's all the same, you know. So no, fuck it, you know. It's like it's all the same. Yeah, that's a 19, that's 17, that's a 18, you know. So after you deconstruct the same way that you do the construction.
即係佢6層啊！
佢話呢度2層啫。哇！搞咩啊呢度？
Year in 0 and year in 9. If you take year in 0, 5 and 9 in the last 20 years, you're pretty safe, you know. 30 years if you take out 99, you know. So, but so here this is my last baby, 22. That's 15 deep, 12,000 bottles, you know. That's the whole stack is here.
How long does it take for you to stack it off like that?
Oh, it's a nice day. Oh yeah. You know, I was. It was a big day. Well, I mean, it's like 8, 9 hours it took us. In fact, the machine go about 2,000 bottles per hour. So, and I've got 2 daughters. They are 13 and 15, and they asked me for cash. You know, so I said, okay, no problem. I got cash, but I've got some job. So they did 9 hours bottling, and they were dead, you know, with their cousins, you know, from Paris. They didn't know how to work, you know. So I got killed by my mom. Yeah.
Underage.
Yeah. I mean, I've been working things like that, helping my parents, you know. So
The laws were different then.
you know, yeah, but you know, my mom have given me so much shit after that, you know. So I say, fuck, you know, I mean, you make me work. You know, and then I had some cash, you know. So okay, they were dead after the next day. They were good, you know. So they were better, you know. And then to pay them, I pay them with little bills of tens, you know, like that. They could really feel that. Yeah, they got a lot of money. Come this way. Magnums. We do a little bit of mag.
Yeah.
大波
係啊。
2008
Bigger night.
What's your oldest bottle?
Oldest year, 1889.
18? Is it drinkable?
Oh yeah.
How much is that?
Okay, so this part is 17th century. Here we jump into the 15th century part.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Excavation is a bit, so that's why it's a bit lower also. Yeah.
15th century 喎，黐線！呢度真係黐線。Oh my god.
So as you go inner, it's more older.
It's a bit older, you know, and less, you know. Over here, we get into the private cellar. So you might see your year of birth, your birth year. Unless it was a shitty year. If you tell me your year, I tell you if you shit or not.
1971.
71? Okay, 71 in the shadow of 70. Not a bad year, but 70 was much better. You know, so that's the problem of the year in one. Always in the shadow of a great vintage, you know. 67 was shit, absolutely. But it was actually, no, it was a great vintage for sweet.
What?
What's the song to say?
67.
冇啊 Benny。
佢話 shit year 啊嘛，
哦，
佢話 shit year 咯。
68, that was shit. That was a great vintage in Porto, but here it was absolutely.
仲喺度搞人。
1973 and 1974 good?
No,
In the last 20 years, it's ending 0, 5 or 9 a year. We generally say.
35 years.
真係
Oh, I don't
包
know.
實晒咗。
That was a favorite year. And I mean, the things I haven't tried for a long time, maybe not, you know. Some of them, you know, like some of them are very specific, like 71, for example. 71 is very like white peaches. Like blind tasting in a white glass, in a black glass, you will think it's a white wine. You know, you smell like white peaches, like you smell like white peaches. Like my 71 Guadet, like smell like that, you know. Really? Yeah, it's very special, you know. Yeah, 67 is here. Oh yeah, so we go back here.
47.
I don't have everything here, you know. I've got some more stuff. What is your year?
Huh?
75.
75, like me. Yeah.
A very good year.
Best year, but not bad. Okay, come over this way. Mind your head a bit.
哇咁 steep 嘅喂，哇冇 rail 嘅喎，哇你尋寶哇都完全冇塵咁得意嘅嚇。完全冇塵嘅喎。
I had a neighbor. She was 107 when she died. Okay, so she was. I mean, physically she was fine. 12.8% of alcohol. So difficulty with difficulty like 15. You know, so be a Grand Cru. You just have to ask. Yeah, and produce a little bit less grape, like 300 liters. Like for example, I'm allowed to produce 5,000 liters per hectare. In Saint-Émilion will be 5,300. You know, it's like, yeah, not much difference. Now, to be a Grand Cru Classé, that's the classification is redone every 10 years. So every 10 years, you have to present the last 10 vintage. You have to pay a little fee of 20,000 euro, you know. And 50% of your score will be the quality of your wine over this last 10 years, 10 vintage. The last one was in 22. 30% of your score is your image marketing, and 20% is your vineyard, you know. Now, stuff like that, you know. But for example, part of the communication, you know, these things, I do the tour, so I get some points. But I do the tour myself, so I lose points. Because I'm not a person dedicated to that, you know. Yeah, I'm the owner, I'm the winemaker, I'm the viticulturist, the tractor driver, you know, the tour guide, you know, so that's not good, you know.
So selfish.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So, at the end, we do the tour with my dad, you know. My dad do some tours, I do my tour. Why? Because if I go to a winery, I would like to have the tour by the owner or the winemaker to have the spirit of the place, you know. It's like, you know, so that's why. It's like why we sell the wines through time, which is much more expensive for us to do that, is also because I enjoy much more a wine which is more like 6 years, 7 years of age than much more than a wine which is just bottled. You know, it's like I don't speak about rosé or white wine, you know, which is a bit different, you know. But also for white wine, you should keep your bottle. You should buy a bottle of wine where at least 1 year old. Why? Because after 1 year, there's no more free sulfite into the wine. So for your head, it's much better. I don't do, you know, I follow the rules. So if you don't want to follow the rules, you go out of the rules, you know. But a lot of people are doing more and more. Not in Saint-Émilion, because Saint-Émilion is quite big. Yeah. I with my dad, I was like, I was thinking to go out of the classification, you know. My dad didn't want. My dad would like to be first Grand Cru Classé, you know. So I'm like, the point, I'm like, I don't have this strong ego to be first. I don't give a shit. I just want to make it good, you know, and sell it, you know, and that's it, you know. So I'm lucky because, you know, in life you take some decision, we're going to impact, you know, and it's so you never know, you know, the impact, you know, whatever decision you take, you know. So the grass is always greener on the other side, you know, of the fence.